Somebody asked me to do this video explaining the quality of the different fittings and what are the different types of fittings on the market. Blow mold used to be the industry standards. Everything was blow molded. What's blow molded? Well, mold injection is when you have steel on both sides and you inject the material in between the steel. You get a controlled wall thickness with that. When you're using blow mold versus mold injection, you have steel only on one side, and then they spray the material on. You do not have any control over the thickness. I see all the time where there's holes in fittings that are blow molded. And you also don't get much of a nub, if you will, because, yeah, it's just a little indentation to grab the pipe. So these come off, and the system comes apart. It's not a very reliable way to build a system, so stay away from blow mold. Now, this is mold injection. You can tell it's got controlled wall thickness, but to reduce the action that the tool had, you see how they just have these holes? So, like, we actually use this because, you know, right now there hasn't really been a better part. It's smooth on the inside. It's mold injected, so you have an even wall thickness, but these little nubs, they don't hold. Matter of fact, when you put the system together, if you move the pipe, it'll come right out of this. We put a ton of tape on these. So you have blow mold, then you step up to mold injection. Here's another type of little nub. See how it's just a nub? This is mold injection. So it's controlled wall thickness. Now, ours, you see how it has a spring-loaded tab? This adds action to the tool. The tool becomes more costly. So when you have these big giant drain manufacturers building these parts, they're, I'm guessing, about 10 cavity tools, meaning every cycle the tool makes, it drops 10 parts, 10 cavities, and makes 10 parts. The problem is you don't have room for all that action. So you have to come up with a clever way, like these little nubs. Now the pipe will grab that. It don't hold like a spring-loaded barb does. So that's why, you know, we went ahead and started making our own tools. We wanted mold injection so you can control the wall thickness. We also wanted to add action to the tool to where you can get this really nice spring-loaded barb. These don't come off. If you're building a permeable system and you didn't tape it, it wouldn't matter because you can't get it apart. This is our 3.5. This is the best DIY size right here, this 3.5. It's 50% less labor than 4-inch, so all the homeowners are going with the 3.5. But all of our fittings are mold injected, not blow molded, and we have added action to our tools to give us this really cool spring-loaded barb that grabs the pipe. And you can see that our not quite a 90 is the same way. Look at that. So you look inside it, look at that. What grabs the pipe, and it's spring-loaded. So, and the pipe goes in, it's kind of like a click-click, and it falls in between the ribs, and it locks it in. When you try to pull it out, it goes against the flat. It slides in because it's ramped. You can see how it's ramped, but it's flat on the other side. So when you try to back it out, it will not come apart. So that's the difference between all the different fittings. Now, the other thing I want to add, and I can't speak to what these are, so I just want to start right there because, you know, I don't want anybody thinking that I'm making accusations. I'm just going to tell you straight, we use a virgin material that is not recycled, and we do not blow any filler in. What's a blown-in filler? Well, it's something that's cheaper than the material. A lot of times it's talcum powder. Sometimes it's fiberglass. You can get talcum powder and fiberglass really cheap. And yes, they do blow it in the different parts for filler. I am not suggesting that's what we have here. I do not see any signs of blown-in filler. As far as recycling, I know that the manufacturer of those fittings, they own recycling centers. So, I mean, you know, you do the math. So we have a virgin material. It's not recycled. We have no blown-in filler. We have added action on our tooling. It just doesn't get any better than this, guys. So keep bringing those questions to me. I'll keep making the videos, answering those questions for you guys. If you like the parts that we're making here in the United States, give me a thumbs up. It supports what we're doing. I'm your host, Robert Sherwood, and until the next video.